special guest on Pour Over. Molly was just on. She called as soon as I hit the button to start the show. My daughter called from New York, and yeah, for her it's 9 o'clock. For us it's 8, and I don't know. She's calling early. I was nervous, but she's like, "No, I'm just saying hi." Oh, so welcome to Pour Over Marketing. I am Rob Southgate. For those of you that don't know, and for those of you that do, be warned. I am Rob Southgate. So let's see, where are we at? This has been an interesting ride the last couple weeks. Oh, I need coffee. Well, first of all, the reason I need coffee, we went to see Jeff Tweedy, who is arguably our favorite in this house. We went to see his, he has an album that came out a couple months ago called Twilight Override. And 3 albums solo thing. He's the lead singer from Wilco. So it's a lot of music. And we went up to Racine to see him last night. It was great. It was a slower paced show because with Wilco it's higher energy. This was, quieter. Excellent songwriting and excellent music, but it was a little tiring because it was a slower pace to match the album. Real interesting though. Great show. And in fact, we on the way there, Molly couldn't go with us, and she's a huge fan as well. On the way there, she called us, and she was able to secure tickets for Jeff Tweedy in Omaha. Now, why are we going so much? Because in Chicago, to go see a solo show, it's like $200 to $250. In Racine, we paid $50 for our tickets. In Omaha, $36 after fees. Yeah, the travel's going to cost a little something, but we wanted a, hey, it's her spring break. It was perfectly timed. Let's go to Omaha. Let's get our favorite fish place, Shucks. Let's get our new favorite breakfast place. We've got 2 great breakfast places there. Yeah. And then this leads into what's been going on. While we were at dinner, and if you're ever in that area, I'm going to recommend a place. In Fitchburg. Oh, it was Madison. I'm sorry. I keep saying Racine. It's Madison. So if you're in Madison, Wisconsin, there's a place in Fitchburg, which is right there, just a little above it, called Ollie's. It's a restaurant owned by a chef that has just a really fantastic menu. And it's 2 restaurants. One side is more, fried fish but when I say this, it's all elevated, like burgers and fish and pizza, but it's elevated. Like we had a side salad, and it had like a Cajun vinaigrette on it. It was crazy good. And I don't usually say that about a salad. I like salad, but I don't usually say like it was crazy good. I would get that every time, and it was so great. The second restaurant is more the elevated one, which if we had had time, we would have done last night because they always do like a special menu. So like last year when we first discovered this place, maybe it was 2 years ago, it was fall. So he did pumpkin themed, and every single thing on the menu had pumpkin in it, and everything we didn't get it. We just read everything. Everything sounded astounding. So while we were at Ollie's, there's my plug for Ollie's. While we were at Ollie's, we started talking about how we were going to see Jeff Tweedy in Omaha. And Maeve said, well, why can't we do what I'm about to talk about? And then we spent some time talking about it. And we realized, yeah, this is something we could do. Okay, so that's not where the dream was hatched. That's where the idea that we could expand upon it and do it uh, on a trip and do it on other trips. And all of a sudden we went, oh, wow, this is a thing. So I don't know if you guys remember uh, back just before Halloween, we did the book event. I don't know if I talked about it on here. I may have talked about some of the marketing for it, but we did a book event where it was actually Nightmare on Chicago Street, which is a big live event thing they do in Elgin, Illinois, where they turn it into the whole town, or at least Chicago Street, all turns into The Walking Dead or whatever horror theme is going on. People come in elaborate costumes, and then they have a band that's going on. They have like 3 bands, maybe 2 bands. I can't remember. Not just a band, but like the streets are filled. It's a huge event, and it's just super cool. The setup for it, the set decoration is beyond belief. It's so good. So the radio station there for promotion, I said, how about if we bring in some horror authors? That's something that's missing from this. There are vendors, but there's no horror authors. And I said, I'll bring some horror authors in, and we will set up a couple of tables, and people can come into the newly remodeled section of the theater, or of the radio station, and they can meet the authors and get books signed, and it'll give some exposure to the authors, which is our key all the time. And things went awry at the event. They turned out they weren't ready for us to be in that room. They tell us at the event, oh, you can't have people in here. It's like, okay. So we ended up on the street in front, set up 3 tables, and had 4 authors, and then I had a table full of other books. And it was funny because we were like behind a barricade, and it was not optimal, yet everybody made some money, and everybody really liked it, to my knowledge. I would say that's pretty much the case, because after that, we realized this is a business. We can do these kind of pop-up book events, leverage the fact that I know so many authors, and let's see what happens, right? So immediately we talked about what it could be, how we could do it. And we said, she says, well, why don't you find a venue first? I'll come up with some ideas for venues. You come up with some ideas and you reach out to them. So when I said I find a venue first, it meant I do the actual reach out, but she and I were brainstorming it. And she came up with a couple that I was like, wow, that's swinging for the fences. I came up with a couple that were more grounded in reality, I thought. Pretty much, I mean, all except I can think of maybe 2 contacted us and wanted events. Okay. It's fast though. It's December. So we were like, okay, we blocked in one of the one that was the 2 main ones that we wanted. One of them couldn't do it, but they want to do it, but not in December. So we said, okay, we're going to talk, because they want multiple events. We're like, hey, cool, we got this. The other space is this place in, let me see if I can pull it up. I want to find it. It's a place, Two Brothers is a beer and coffee brewery. They make both. And both, I haven't had the beer. I don't drink beer. But the coffee is really, really great. And let me see if I can pull it up. So there we go. I'll be able to switch so you can see it. So I say all that and then I can't find it. There we go. So Two Brothers Brewery wanted to do an event. This is a big deal because it's a big space, lots of traffic. We realized we can't bring in 5 authors. So we opened it up to 20 authors. We're still, so if anyone knows an author out there, we're still trying to line up authors. But that's a crazy one to have. It is next to a Chris Kindle market. So when we talk about our businesses, we talk about things like placement. You know, if you're an entrepreneur and you're opening a storefront, there is a lot to be said for figuring out the optimal location. Location, right? You've always heard that. Well, in this case, I mean, you're next to a huge Chris Kindle market on the first week of December. They book it. They're like, yes, let's do this. Great. They are a block away from this huge market. He tells me while I'm there, he said, yeah, they're expanding the market by 50 vendors. Traffic is going to be insane in here. Wow. Okay. I like that. Then he says, it's actually our busiest day of the year. We have an event called Haasfest. And we have a band. They pay for a band, like a local band that's really popular. He said they're hard to get. And he said, but they're booked with us every year on this date. So he said, it's crazy how many people come to this. So when you walk in the door of the place, this huge place, to the left, where there's a coffee bar and that, this big room, we're going to have 20 tables of authors in there. To the right is the restaurant area with brewery things in between. So then he said, you got to be out by 4 o'clock. So we're doing 11 to 4. He said, you got to be out by 4 o'clock because that's when the band starts setting up. And he said, your traffic will already be crazy in here. So make sure you can bug out at 4 o'clock. This is great. So we did it. We've got that event set up for December 6th in Aurora at Two Brothers Roundhouse, it's called. So if you can make it, please do, because it's going to be great. So other places wanted it. We haven't been able to line them up yet. People are slow to respond sometimes. And you guys know this because we've talked about this before, that you can't, you've got to respond. You've got to always have the last word, but you got to respond. And so they write me, I write them immediately back and say, hey, let's set up a time. Yeah, that sounds great. And then it seems to not really go from there, right? Or it stalls out as far as timing. Places still want us. There's, like I said, even there was one that we really wanted in the city. They can't do it. First they said they could, and then they're like, it's not going to work on those dates, but they want us for the future. Then, here we go. There's the next one. This one is a place, never heard of it. It's real close to us. It's called Microphone Brewery. So I went out and met with them. This place, it's fantastic. Another fantastic place. Very different than Roundhouse. Am I going to have that kind of traffic? No. But we're able to bring in like 10 different tables. And it's really, 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 really cool. So we should do well at that. This is another one we talk about location. This one is not, in my opinion, optimal location other than it's in Arlington Heights. It's close. I'm sorry, it's in Elk Grove Village. It's close. My brain today. We were at Twilight Override. It ended at 10:40, and then we had to drive 2 hours home. So forgive me if my brain is not fully there yet. So this event comes through. I go down and meet him. I love the place. He wants more events. He wants us to do other things. I'm there on a weekday, like early afternoon, not lunchtime. And there were people there. Like, for where it was and what it was, I was like, wow, there's a pretty good crowd. And he was like, yeah, he said it does fill up. And he said, especially on the days where we have these pop-up food vendors, he said people will come and like fill the place. Well, December 20th, the date I asked for, there's this smash burger guy. He said, oh my God, he's the most popular one. He's going to be there in the afternoon. He said, it's right as we leave that he starts up. But he said that doesn't matter. He said people get here like an hour, 2 hours early. They start drinking, having some appetizers. They want to get in line to be able to get the burgers. And he said, so this place will fill up. Your vendors will have lots of people walking around. And he said, if we advertise it, he said they did a book event not long ago. And he said it was basic. And he said, I couldn't believe how many people came. He said, yeah, we really want this. Plus, it's a Krampus event. And at first he said, what about December 21st? And I said, oh, yeah, it's fine. It's Sunday. Then he started telling me about this smash burger guy. I said, how about on the 20th? And then he said, yeah, that probably makes more sense. The 21st, we have Santa here. I said, well, we're Krampus. Why don't we do Saturday is the dark side of Christmas, Sunday is the light side? Oh, he loved that. So there we are. I'm not going to name the other places, but since then, we almost had events on the 7th and the 21st, which we could probably still make happen, but I'm not going to because it's too short a notice to get everything ramped up. Maybe the 21st, depends on who comes through, or if anybody does. So what does this mean? Number one, it means we have a business. Okay. And by doing this the way we have, we've got authors ready for these. We've got an infrastructure that we're building, and it feels good. I mean, you guys know me. You know that I'm an entrepreneur. You know that I've started businesses and that, and I get all juiced up. Starting a new podcast, I get all juiced up. Well, this is starting a business that is already proving to make money. And we went, hey, this can be replicated. And we started figuring out how we can do this wherever we live with authors, well, it's expanded outward. So we've got these first two official events. Then we're going to drop Molly off after her winter break. And we thought, you know what, we're going to be out on the East Coast. So we're actually working to set up, we've already got authors, but we're working to set up at least one, if not two events while we're there. See what happens. We're in a different area. Then we realized, well, if we're doing this and these aren't crossing the streams, these are very different areas. We've got like 7 different places here that want us to do events. And it's not just these, like these are horror events, but we have authors, we have all sorts of things to work with. And we bring value to it. And this is something we've had to discuss this week, and I'll get to that. So we said, okay, how do we set up like 2 a month? Well, now it's expanded outward, and we're trying to see if we can do 4 a month and how we do that. I don't know if we can do that many before, like in the spring, but that's where the goal is. But we're building a business, and all those things, and this is where you come in when we talk about like your business being a house and the foundations and what the different rooms are. There was a business I was working with recently, and they had a fatal flaw. They had no business plan at all. And when I say no business plan, like I can tell you what Maeve and I have talked about exactly how it works. Do we need to write it down? Yeah, we probably should. And in fact, we're going to. But do we know? We know a marketing strategy. We know we've been here before. We know the structure of the business. We know all these things. And in fact, putting it down on paper would just give us a roadmap, which is what we need to do. But there are a lot of moving parts, and you have to be cognizant of that with your business. Each of the authors that we're bringing with should have, even if it's a one-page business plan, how do I do my business when I go to these? The ones who show up, I'm going to sit behind a table and talk to people. Okay. Not much of a plan. Do you have an elevator pitch? I hate using that term for this, but do you have something like that? A short gotcha? Do you have some kind of call to action you can say? Is there what type of materials are on your table? Is it just your books, your art, anything with a QR code, anything that drives any sales? What's your goal? Do you have a goal in sales, and do you have a goal beyond that? This is all the stuff that we had to talk about, and fast, because we just did this one event to try to help out a radio station, and then we realized, oh, we just started a business. Now we have to go back to what are the goals at each one? What are the things? A lot of infrastructure we got to build. Even things like the letter that we use to reach out to the authors, the follow-up letter that we have to the authors. You got to pre-write all that stuff. We have to write up an agreement with the authors. We have to have a way of taking money. We have decided this one we actually have to set up as an LLC. So we have to go through that. There's so many pieces of the puzzle. And then in the interim, I can't do every little bit of that before we start up. We have to promote this. We have to get people there because we have to bring the value to the venue and to the authors. What makes us different than other people doing this? So let me see if I can show you guys. I made, let's see, I'm going to try and open all of these at once. Oh, I don't know if I can. Okay. So I'll do this. I'm going to open up. I made social media posts. And the thing is, when you're making this, these are not everything. This is what I have so far. Okay. I wonder if this will. It doesn't. Okay. Let's close that one. And well, as long as I'm in here, I'm going to open each of these and then I can go through them to show you. And so what we figured out is there are different types of things you need to do. You need to say it differently. You need to have different images. You need to show it off to try to drive people to the business. Now, I showed you guys the poster. That's an 11 by 17 poster for the event coming up on the 6th that is going up around the venue. Okay. And the microphone one is going to go up at that venue. Are we going to do like boots on the ground type marketing? Probably not. What we're probably going to do is some Facebook advertising for it. So here we go. Now I can show it to you. Stop screen. Share. Okay. So there's the first one. Okay. There's the poster. Has all the relevant information. We found a public domain image of Krampus. And then it's got their logo. It's got the stuff you need. They don't need for this area, if you're putting posters up, people know what Two Brothers Roundhouse is. We don't need to put the address. If we were advertising outside of that area, we might need to, but this is going to be obvious, so we don't need that. Why make it more cluttery? We found some images of old books stacked up, and I built this poster out of that. Everything here was built out of found things that were free use, public domain, whatever. So then let's remove that. And let's find the next one. And I guess it doesn't work that way. Okay. We're going to remove it and we're going to find the next one. So that's that. So then we realized now what we have to do, and this is something that attracts the authors. This is something that is good for the venue. And remember, everything I'm showing you me building something that already closed. We got the venue, we got the authors, but now we have to bring the value. And the value in the beginning is the promotion of both the event and the author, not just to promote the event, but to promote the author. So they want to continue working with us, because that's something we found. There are a lot of people that do things similar to this, but they're not bringing this kind of thing. So this is a social media post. We had to size it for, if it works for Instagram, it works for Facebook, it works on most of the social media platforms. And we say we've got the logos and everything. We've got our branding. So if we're talking, how it's integrated, you can tell right away this is the same event. These are the same people. And it shows the author. I didn't highlight her books. I just showed the author, and I tried to make it look like it all kind of matched. Okay. We do have a few different fonts going on here, but they're in the same vein. When I used the same font from Krampus's Secret Bookshop, this didn't look right. So when I went with this, all of a sudden it was like, oh no, this looks good. Kind of stuff you have to think about. Now, I also know that we need to have something like this in the story size. So we have to create stories and reels. We have to. This takes time. I've got 20 authors I'm working with here. Each one is going to need one of these. Okay, so we'll get rid of that one. And I'll show you the next thing. Do you do this with your business? Do you take the time with each thing? I hope you do. Now this one, I hope we can actually see. Let me close that. Let me open that. So this goes in stories. Real basic. In fact, each author has one of these. That's it. Just meet them. Okay. Be really cool if I could put some music on it, but I did not on this. So going forward, they're all going to have music, and I'm going to redo this one so it does have the music with it. But this is another one. This is only, it's promoting two brothers, tells you what date it is. It's obvious. Meet like Julius, or Julius, I don't remember how he says it. It's a pop-up bookshop. Guess what? You get right away, this is an author. This is an author that we're talking about here. Or at least it's a special guest. And that's what you need there. And then the last one, this one just happens to be Al's also. And this one doesn't have music, but this one, my goal was to highlight his books. These are the books that he's bringing that will be on his table. And it's got video, so it can go in reels. The other one is in highlights. This one is in reels. Now, there is other content we're going to have to create fast, and I've got to do it for every single one of these, but that's what you have to do. Take your business. Once again, you have a Black Friday sale. Have you done this kind of thing with your Black Friday sale? Is it one thing, or is it multiple things? Do you have ways of advertising it, places to advertise it? Do you know where you're advertising it? I had to look at what we had, where I wanted to post from. So I made a Facebook event from the main Southgate Media Group one, because it's got the biggest audience. And we used to promote all of our events in there. So I was like, why would I not use that? But then from there, I share it to Writers Row. I share it to Geeking Out. I share it to my personal, and I tell all the authors, share the event. Two Brothers and Microphone, sharing the event, letting people know. When I have these things done, I'll then send out a newsletter through MailChimp. First, I'm sending one that goes out Monday announcing the event. Then on over the weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, they're going to get one that features each of the different authors. And it's got something like, come on out next weekend, do some Christmas shopping, do some Krampus shopping, right? Get some books for the naughty kid on your list. I think that's pretty good. I just decided that's going to be one of the things. So I'll open that up too. So are you doing that? Are you ready with that stuff? Have you thought about Black Friday? I know we've talked about Black Friday. We've talked about that weekend, but have you done the things? Now, granted, talk to marketers, they're going to say, all right, you're almost too late. You should have been promoting. Like you're starting to see it on Facebook already. I'm seeing places with their Black Friday sales already on there, what the prices are. They're already taking the orders. Have you done that? I have not, because I got distracted by this thing. So Black Friday itself, yes, I will have Black Friday, but it's not my focus in the moment. Here we go. Here's Black Friday sale. I've got my coaching on sale. Now, this I've not made public because something is wrong with my website. Don't you love that? dreamingbigcoaching.com. I went in and it says there's a certificate that's out of date. And it says it's like 180 days out of date. I'm like, number one, haven't been in there in a while, but I got to figure out what I have to update to make it a safe browsing experience. These things make me crazy. When you have multiple websites and then they have limits on what you can put on, it's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'll figure it out. But I can't put this out until maybe Monday when I have a chance to actually figure out how to make the website go live. Otherwise, I got to change it to just write to me. Not so great. But there we go. I'm doing 25% off if you book during those days. Now, Serena, who's here a lot, wanted that Black Friday deal last year. We never got our thing together for various reasons, but I honor it. She told me those during those dates that she wants to do these sessions. We just haven't figured out what the sessions are and what we're going to do. But she gets that sale forever. So all she had to do was tell me, this is what I want to do, and 25% off on the coaching. Now, this can be for two different things. One is 25% off if you're doing this, which is dreaming big, where you've got a project you're working on, or you've got a dream and you want to know how to get from, to the dream, to the goal. And I work with you on your goal, help you figure it out, help you figure out what the roadblocks are, right? That's real coaching on that end. Then on the consulting coaching end, I'm also doing the same thing, 25% off for the, what do we call it? I mean, it was Southgate Small Business. Now it's just Rob Southgate Coaching, and it's about marketing. So you have a business, you're one of the authors that I was talking about, and you go, I want to get, I want to build this into something more. I see other people passing me by, or I've written 5 books and I'm not making anything. How do I transition? Great. Let's talk about your marketing. Let's not just talk about the dream and how you get there, but let's talk about the marketing. Right now, you can see the dates through December 2nd. And actually, if you booked now, today's the 22nd. Book today, 25% off. All right. And that can be single session, that can be full-blown sessions where we're doing like a whole program for 8 weeks. Okay, I'll give you 25% off. But you gotta let me know now. Website's not working, that's okay. You that listen to this know you can write in the thread on this show. You can email me, rob@smgpods.com. You can follow me on anything and write to me, and I'll find it and get back to you. As long as it's dated between now and December 2nd, you're eligible for that 25% off. And what I have to do is get the website working, and then I'm going to put it across the various social medias, use the right hashtags. That's why I was hoping I could have shown you the whole thing now, because I have a whole thing that explains. It's concise, it's written in a way, it's got keywords embedded in it, and then it's got a few hashtags on it to try to attract people with the call to action. It just, I can't show you because the website's not working. And we got to get that working before we do anything more. So, have you done this for your business? Are you prepared for next weekend? If not, today's Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday. These 2 days, even if the only thing you do is make a social media post, write something up. If you're worried about your writing, write it up, put it in ChatGTP, say, rewrite this with optimized keywords, and put a limit on hashtags, and 5 hashtags, 5 best hashtags. See what you get back. It might give you the copy you need. Because it's not just taking something out of here. It's your words, but it's just kind of tweaking them a little bit to give you a better post. I encourage you. It's a tool. Use it as a tool. Don't use it to create everything. Don't use it to create your images. Number one, harmful to the environment. Number two, people don't like when they're seeing this AI stuff. They're calling it out immediately. Don't do it. Okay. I guess you got to figure out what you want to promote and what the deal is and what your goal is. Ooh, number one, figure out your goal. Well, no, figure out what you want to promote, figure out the goal, and then figure out your deal. Because what if your goal is just getting people to subscribe to your newsletter? Then great. What can you do? Do you have a loss leader to drive people to it? If there's no money exchanging hands, you can't really take a discount on it, but you can promote it this weekend. You want a Black Friday deal? How about free? Sign up for my newsletter for free and get ahead of the pack, or get all my great music that I put on my Substack. Did you know I record music and put it on Substack? Free. Sign up this weekend. See what I mean? I don't record music on there. Don't be fooled. But there you go. Think about your business. You got 2 days. You got 2 days. Now is the time to figure out what you're promoting, what the goal is, and then what the deal is. And if it's just to get emails, that's fine. If it's brand growth, that's fine. It's Black Friday. If there's a way that you can make a little money, that's more than fine. See if it can work. I have a whole thing that I did for Molly's show and for Ink Plots, for Read Between the Lines, and then for Ink Plots, where I took every book that's been featured and I made a list with the links to Bookshop for all of them. And I made a little bit of artwork for it, but it's not done. I don't know if I'm going to have time to get it up there. I'm hoping, but it's not going to launch more than a couple of days before. I'm hoping that by maybe Tuesday, I can at least have a newsletter with those things, and then I can start making a few posts. In fact, I think I can show you. Let's see if I can show you a post that I did that was basic, that was leading to this. Should be in here. My stuff is filling up. It's like when we had our podcast network and we just kept filling up. Oh, I can show you this one. So this is one I'm going to theoretically hit for the weekend. Otherwise, I'm going to hit it hard throughout because I can't really control a sale on this. But if they have a sale that goes up, I can do this. I updated our TeePublic shop so that now every single podcast, he says hesitantly, I just thought of a few that aren't on there. Most of our podcasts, you can buy a shirt or a mug with the show's logo. Okay, let's see if I can pull that up. Here we go. So let's look at it. This is the kind of stuff you need to know too for your business. Have you ever set up a TeePublic shop? You should. You should, even if it just has the logo for your business that you can put on a shirt and a mug. People can order it. If you're I don't know. I was just going to say something ridiculous. Like if you're a carpet cleaner, it won't work. It will. You could put the logo and then have some kind of funny phrase or something that's unique to you guys. Put it on there. Will you sell a lot? No. Will you sell any? Probably. Yes, you've got that, but here you go. In fact, I want to go to the actual site. View TeePublic Store. Here we go. So this is the actual TeePublic Store. And these are our shows. Before, we had maybe 10 of our shows on here, and then we had some other t-shirts. Now you can see it goes on and on. Page 2. There's our most popular selling one. In Hoff We Trust. And are people going to buy these? I don't know. If you're a fan of how many does have fans? They might be like, oh, cool. I need the mug. Let's show you that. So there's a t-shirt. But then, nope. Down here. Get the mug. Cool. Apparently you can get socks with Jesse on them. In Hoff We Trust, like I said, it's our number 1. So you can see, these are all the different shows. I did design some of them differently. I don't think I have a pour over, but I do have the Mug of Destiny. There we go. Official mug of Pour Over Marketing. And I'm not sure what their sale is. I could go in and look at it. I'm not sure what it is. Here, I'll put this in here in case anybody is interested in checking out our TeePublic shop. There's a link. But I'll promote, hey, we have a sale. You saw that on Facebook. So let me close that. And then let me show you the other thing. I think I have it here. So I'm going to promote the books this way. Oh, if you could see how much stuff I'm having to look through here, you'd say, holy cow. How much have you created? And I'm not even close to done. It's what you have to do. You know, you got to be prepared. Oh, where is it? I made a really good one too. Not seeing it. We'll have to wait on it. Unless I put it right here. Nope. These are all, we're getting back into other things. So I went on bookshop.org and they have a banner that's really cool that has all the books that are in basically I made a reading list of all the authors, the books, or not all, I'm still working on it, but it's going to be all the books that have been featured on those various shows. You can go to season 1 of Read Between the Lines and get every book right there through bookshop.org. And it creates this really cool kind of artwork piece for it, but it's not a downloadable piece. So I copied it. I was like, I'm going to make the same kind of thing, and I'm going to use that for my newsletter and on my social media to try to promote, hey, Black Friday sale. Or if it's not really on sale, this is the weekend to get your attention. You're thinking about shopping, you're buying people things. Order your books now. Get them in time for the holidays. Support a local bookstore. Not enough coffee today. It's already waning. Okay. So have you done this for your business? Have you thought about these things? I can't believe we've had no comments today. Not a one. That's okay. I started talking to you about this a month ago, being prepared, and here we are, 0 hour, and I'm still scrambling because we're entrepreneurs. We've got 100 things going on all at once. And then Maeve and I started a new business in the middle of it that was supposed to be, hey, let's do this one thing. And now we've got this, if you think of your business as a newborn, we've got a toddler standing in the room saying, pay attention to me. And we're going, oh God, it's not a newborn. We gotta feed it and make it grow. And I mean, there's stuff like there's a mug that there we go. There's a mug that we made. I could promote these individually. This alone could do it, but I got to make sure I get the word out there. I got to make sure I show it the right way. Our book, we have a box full of these. I have like 30 of these books. I'd like to move that inventory. I'm going to take some of it to some of these events and see if on our table, I'll put a couple on there and see what happens. Maybe somebody will buy it, maybe not. But then there's things like this. There's our website that we've been working on and building our blogs and that. Now that I can't really do much with. I'm not going to. I don't want to muddy the water too much. We've got way too many things going on. But then I could promote the Buy Me Coffee. We have a whole plan for the Buy Me Coffee. buymeacoffee.com/smgpods. We have a whole plan for it. But until somebody starts buying me a coffee, it's going to sit. But I can promote it during this weekend. Hey, do you like our stuff? Support us on Buy Me a Coffee. Here's a gift. You have a fan, you have a friend who's a podcast fan and they like our stuff. They talk about, one of our shows a lot. Buy them, go to Buy Me a Coffee, get them a $3 a month subscription, pay for the year, supports us. They'll love it. And we're going to start creating some original content that they'll feel like is just for them because right now it is. The other thing is, I know I talked about Substack a lot, and I've got a whole chart of articles, but instead what I've been doing is I'm trying to daily post to the notes part of it. Now, the notes part of it, I have 3 different Substacks on there. 2 of them I've been active with. One I'm not active with yet because I've got a whole plan for it, and it just takes a bit to set up what I want to do with it. But 2 of them are very active. Pour Over Marketing and Mic Drop are both active. And it's funny, Mic Drop keeps picking up new subscribers, and I've hardly done anything with it. But instead of doing the regular posts, I've been doing the notes. I'm trying to do notes at least 6 days a week. My goal is to get it to 3 notes a day, but that takes a lot. And I have a whole structure for it. I have a great plan. But once again, we've got a toddler screaming for attention, which is this book thing. So we have to give that the attention. So my Substack, I'm just doing the notes and I'm doing 1 a day, sometimes 2. And if you're not over there subscribing, please do. And writing in the notes goes from me across all of them. Unfortunately, I was hoping it was on each one because then I could do something for each one, but who cares? You follow me, you follow me. I'm using the notes as almost like my personal Facebook page for those. I don't go out of brand for them. And then there's the articles that I write periodically for those different setups. So there you go. Rob's Roundup.substack.com. So what about you guys? Do you have your plans? Are you ready for next weekend? I would love to see some comments. Are you ready for what's going to happen over the next month? Christmas is coming. I know. Hanukkah's coming too. Boxing Day's coming. New Year's is coming. These are all opportunities. I just saw something today. There's another opportunity. You know how we do the special days? December 12th is now a holiday. Oh, Serena, does this comment work? Yes, it does. Hi, Serena. God, I got to get the ums out of here. I think when I'm tired, I more. So, uh, yeah, December 12th is now the 12th ELF of December. So it's kind of like your Facebook link is broken. No. No. Why is that? I'm going to it right now. That is terrible news, Serena. Is that why nobody's on here? It must be. Oh, I'm so bummed. Well, I can see it on Facebook. Okay, Serena, which one were you on? Which Facebook page? Because it's working there. I see it. That's weird. It's mirrored. That's kind of weird to see. I hadn't noticed that. Okay. I'm going to close that so I don't stare at Facebook. The link. Jeff can't get it on his computer either. So weird. Okay. That's something I have to figure out. If you go to Facebook and look at it, you can see it, but why is the link not working? I'll work on that. Thank you, Serena. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, do you want to see the cool thing here? Yeah, I love this. Got our comments writing right there. So since you got me on here, Serena, questions, anything you're thinking about? I don't know if you've been able to watch the show today. I'm really disappointed because I feel like the last few times I've done this, I've been pouring a lot of stuff out, especially the last one I did. I really brought something. The whole idea, I could fill you guys in as long as we're chatting now. So the last episode, not we didn't do one last week, the week before, I experimented with something with part of the show where I treated it more like the way I teach. And I came in with some prepped talking points, and I realized I could do even my PowerPoint stuff to hit some of those ideas a little bit harder. So rather than having 2 days and trying to figure out, you know, AMA versus teaching points, I'm going to try to make it so that there's a focused chunk where I talk about a marketing concept or a goal setting concept, whatever it is. And I maybe hopefully will have like a PowerPoint or some images to share. And then we open it up and we can just talk. Watching with Jeff, I'm trying to come up here. Watching with Jeff, I'm trying to come up with a plan for this next year for my story and art now that the webtoon is up. So you still have last year's Black Friday sale. If you want to sit down and talk that out, Serena, it never goes away. You told me during that time you wanted a session. We can do whatever. I'll work with you. Yours is a big, complicated thing, but we could actually maybe wrangle it so you have something to work with. And in fact, I think a single hour session would get us where we need to be, at least to get the ball rolling. And then if you go like, yeah, I need you to help me walk me through the steps because that's what the full blown program is. Once again, all of it in this case, 25% off. It definitely needs wrangling. I understand. Serena, did you see the first part where I talked about the new business we're launching and all the different aspects we're going through? Because it's interesting. You don't do horror themed artwork, do you, Serena? Asking for a friend. If you do, we need to talk offline. If not, we're still going to talk offline. And there's opportunities abounding which we'll talk about too. You do when requested. Do you have artwork like that you could print up and sell? Because the event we're doing a Krampus event on December 6th, and we still have some table space. I would love to have at least one artist or two as vendors at it, because it's mainly a book event, but it'd be really cool if people could have a couple of vendor things. It's a Krampus themed thing. So like horror, it's horror book authors. So horror, Krampus, you know, Happy Tree Friends is not going to fly. So those of you out there that want a Happy Tree Friends vendor table, you're not going to sell anything. So think about it, Serena. Okay. So, oh, I don't want that. There we go. So, where was I? Oh, so what are the three things? What did we say? For your Black Friday, we're going to call it Holiday 2025, because you could get it out by the 25th, because you got today, you got tomorrow. Take the time, even if it's one art image that you post on your social media and you find a couple of creative places to post. That's fine. Okay. Know what you want to promote. Set your goal. What am I trying to do here? If it's a free thing, if it's a money-making thing, whatever it is, this is an opportunity. Okay. And then figure out what your deal is. Figure out what you're promoting, figure out the deal, set a goal. Out of order. Figure out what you're promoting, set a goal, figure out your deal. That's what you need to do. How quickly can I make something that says that? I'm going to make you guys something right now that says this, because I think you need to hear it. I think you need to absorb it. You know what I mean? Let's go with, I'll go with this size. Okay. There we go. So, like I said, there's a lot of things going on our end. I hope that gave you insight into the launch of something. We did do a really great experiment this week. We have an intern, and we came up with something for him to do where he analyzed a website. I had him just write down everything that was on this website, because we wanted to see, what are they doing? Why are they successful? What are they doing? And I said, here are the date ranges, write down the type of post, write down how much engagement, all that. And then I had him go back and I had him then analyze it and tell me what his thoughts were. Tell me, why do you think certain things failed? Why did they get engagement? What are they doing? And he was really nervous. He's a young guy. He was like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. What he gave me back was very insightful. Bringing somebody else in, I can sit here all day and tell you how to do it. I can be the guy, right? But then when it's for yourself, a lot of times there's a blind spot. So having other people in, having a coach, having a spouse that'll look at your stuff and give you an honest, super helpful. Super helpful. And then finally, we brought him in the fold on the new business and said, okay, we're going to treat this like a marketing thing. And I want you to do this one marketing task, which he's never done. And what he came back with was very creative. It was very good. It was what I needed. And now he's all excited about the prospect of, like, okay, when my internship's done, how do I continue? Pretty cool. Okay, I made the thing. Now let's just make it look good if I can. Everyone remember, I'm doing this on the fly. I'm doing it on the fly. It needs some kind of background. Uh, Here we go. I'll stay on brand. I'll stay nice and Christmassy or holiday time. I guess it's a little Christmassy. I know we're supposed to not focus on it as Christmas because you don't want to exclude. But let's face it, it is the time to use that to your advantage because it's holiday shopping. If you don't say the word Christmas, that's fine. Nope. 18. Those of you watching, do not be impressed. This is fast and on the fly. I would never put this out as a piece of marketing material. Okay, here we go. These are your marching orders, and then our show is done. This is what you need to do between today and tomorrow for your business. Decide what you to promote. Decide what you are going to promote. Set a goal. Set your deal. Decide what you're going to promote. Set a goal. Set your deal. There are so many ways to look at this. There is no wrong answer. Okay? Remember that. Other than I missed a word. There's an error there, but there is no wrong answer. Even if you squeak something out and you're like, oh God, this isn't going to work, get it out there to feel what it's like to put that out for Black Friday. Because what's going to happen typically is you get a little bit of juice from it. You start thinking about next year and you get ideas and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do whatever. Great. But then I'm going to challenge you to do something for January. I'm going to challenge you to do something. I mean, you get it out for Black Friday and you set all that stuff. Why can't you spend December doing it or calling it your, New Year's? Why can't you? Why can't you do Elf Day? It's the 12th. I told you guys. Can you do something around that? Celebrate the 12th. Get 25% off. Use the coupon code Yellow Ones Don't Stop. World's best coffee. Figure out a funny thing from Elf. Is there something you could tie in? Don't use a picture of Elf in your marketing. You don't own it. Okay? But is there something Elf related that you can do for the 12th? But let's first get through Black Friday. Feel what it's like to put out a promotion for Black Friday. And then after you do it, let your brain work on it a little bit and say, okay, I did this wrong, or I want to add this, and next year we'll do this. And then let's move into the holidays. Let's move to the 12th. I think it would be funny if everybody did some kind of thing for the 12th. What are the opportunities? Even if it's just a social media post for the 12th, but have a call to action. Be like Buddy. Subscribe to my newsletter. Okay? All right. That's it. Thank you for coming to Pour Over. I believe we will see you next week. I think. Stay tuned. We might be driving in the car at that time. I don't think so, though. I think I actually am going to be I think I'm doing a road trip from Cleveland. We haven't done a road trip Cleveland yet. So stay tuned. Go to New Media Lab, go to Southgate Media Group, go to my Facebook page. I'll post the Facebook event there. I'm now promoting it on Blue Sky, Threads, and I think it's going to start going up on Instagram too, right along with all this other stuff. All right. Thank you. We will have safe travels. You too. Everybody be safe this week. Keep safe travels. Eat so much that it's not technically unhealthy. Have a great week, you guys.